This is the moment that defines a championship season. The Yankees have a choice to make in the next 24 hours. Go all in on a high-risk superstar or trust a returning veteran to carry the load. What I'm hearing from inside sources will tell you which way they're leaning. Don't get left behind on this. Hit subscribe. You need to know this information first. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Over the last 72 hours, the landscape for the Yankees' 2025 title run has been reshaped on two distinct but equally crucial fronts. Brian Cashman's phone is getting constant calls, while a sleeping giant has finally awakened down in Somerset, New Jersey. The championship pieces are moving, and they are moving now. What I'm hearing from my contacts and analyzing from behind the scenes is about to change how you see the rest of this season. That's why I recommend you subscribe, and do it fast, because the window to make a masterstroke move is closing. I've been tracking two situations closely that are absolutely critical to our success, and I need to lay out the details for you with the precision the situation demands. The first, and maybe the most immediately impactful, involves one of our biggest mashers, a guy whose mere presence in the lineup changes how opposing pitchers approach us, Giancarlo Stanton. We all held our breath when he hit the 60-day injured list. The talk of injuries to both elbows was, to put it mildly, concerning. The platelet-rich plasma injections, while a modern and often effective treatment, came with no guarantees. I vividly remember General Manager Brian Cashman calling potential surgery a last resort, a phrase that had us all worried about Stanton's future, not just for this season, but his career. The thought of not having his monumental power in the heart of our order was a dark scenario, one that could seriously hamstring our title aspirations. But what we saw on Tuesday in his first rehab start with the AA Somerset Patriots was more than just a step in the right direction. It was a statement of intent. Stanton didn't just play, he looked like himself. He looked sharp, focused, and most importantly, healthy. In 3 official at-bats, he racked up 2 hits, drove in 3 runs, and drew a walk. Those numbers alone are great, but we need to look deeper. The quality of the contact was what really stood out to me, the thing that indicates the true condition of his strength. His first knock of the game, a single to left center, came off the bat at 111.4 miles per hour. For anyone who follows the advanced analytics, you know that's an elite number. That's not just healthy player exit velo. That's prime Giancarlo Stanton exit velo. To see that kind of raw power in his very first competitive game back from a long layoff is the clearest sign yet that the treatment took, and his brute strength is all there. The Somerset Patriots made sure to post a clip on their social media, and seeing that ball rip through the infield was a sight for sore eyes for all of Yankee Nation. Before the game, he told the press, "Ready to rock." He said he'd been waiting a long time for this, and it was good to finally start down the path. That mentality, that hunger to get back out there, is exactly what you want to see from a veteran of his stature and importance. But Stanton's impact in Somerset goes beyond the box score. When asked about the young players on the team, he was genuinely excited to be around them, to see how they go about their business, and to offer his wisdom. "Lot of players here," he said. "It'll be cool to be on the side of them a little bit. And anything I can do to give a tidbit, I'm here." That's the kind of leadership that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Having a 5-time All-Star, a former MVP, sharing a clubhouse and a dugout with the future of your organization is invaluable. He's not just rehabbing, he's mentoring. And as Stanton gets ready to return, he's not alone on this journey in Somerset. On Wednesday, he's being joined by pitcher Marcus Stroman, who's on his own rehab assignment. This turns Somerset into a nerve center for the Yankees' recovery, a place we'll all be watching closely over the next few days. The return of a healthy, powerful Stanton isn't just adding one bat. It's restoring a threat that lengthens our lineup in a way few players in the league can. It forces opposing managers to rip up their game plan, and it creates better pitches for the guys hitting around him. This was just the first step, but it was a giant one. While Stanton's rehab gives us immense hope for an internal boost, the front office, led by Brian Cashman, is not sitting on its hands. They are actively scouring the trade market, and the chatter is heating up around a name that could be a transformative acquisition: Chicago White Sox center fielder Luis Robert Jr. The situation couldn't be more of a classic baseball trade deadline scenario. The Yankees sitting atop the division looking for that final piece for a World Series run, and the White Sox in the cellar, ready to sell off their most valuable assets for prospects to rebuild for the future. In this scenario, Robert Jr. emerges as the most logical and perhaps the most high-impact target available before the July 31st deadline. Yeah, I know what his 2025 numbers look like. Heading into Tuesday's game, he was hitting just .177 with a .265 on-base percentage and 5 home runs. Those are ugly numbers, no way around it, but this is where you have to do a deeper, more contextualized analysis. We're talking about a guy who just over a year ago in 2023 was an all-star and a Silver Slugger winner, blasting 38 homers. That five-tool talent doesn't just evaporate. A change of scenery, getting out of the losing environment in Chicago and into the electric winning culture of Yankee Stadium, could be the exact shock to the system he needs to rediscover his form. The White Sox general manager, Chris Getz, all but put a for sale sign on him. On Friday, he admitted, teams are showing interest. They're doing that on a continual basis. As we get closer to the trade deadline, that's going to pick up. That is not the language of an executive planning to keep his star player. It's an invitation to make an offer. And as expected, the Yankees are right in the middle of those discussions. MLB insider Francis Romero reported on Tuesday that teams like the Yankees, Seattle Mariners, and Philadelphia Phillies are expected to be in the conversation for Robert. The competition will be stiff, which means the price will be high. So the big picture question is, what's the cost and is he worth it? To get a player of Robert's caliber who is only 27 years old and is under team control, the White Sox are going to demand a king's ransom in top-tier prospects. We're talking about names we've grown accustomed to seeing at the top of our farm system rankings. This is the tightrope Cashman has to walk. Do you mortgage some of the future for a chance to win right now? The fit on the team, though, is almost seamless. Robert is an elite defender in center field, a position where we could undoubtedly use an upgrade. His arrival would allow Aaron Judge to stay primarily in right field, his best defensive spot, and it will create healthy competition with Trent Grisham Jr., who has been solid, but a top-form Robert is simply a different class of player. He would add not just power, but speed and spectacular defense to our outfield. The decision boils down to a bet. Are the Yankees willing to wager that they can fix Luis Robert Jr. and unlock the MVP level potential we all know he has? It's a high-risk, high-reward play, the kind of bold move that can define a championship season. The deadline, 6 p.m. Eastern on July 31st, only adds to the pressure and the drama. So we have two narratives playing out in parallel, both with the power to shape our destiny. Internally, the imminent return of a healthy Giancarlo Stanton promises to add proven, high-octane firepower to our offense. Externally, the pursuit of Luis Robert Jr. represents a chance to acquire a dynamic, high-upside talent for now and the future. Now, I want to hear from you, Yankee Nation. Which move gets you more hyped? Are you banking on a fully recovered Stanton to carry us? Or do you believe we should pay the steep price to get Luis Robert Jr. in pinstripes? Drop your take in the comments below. To make sure you don't miss a single development in these stories and get the deepest analysis the second the news breaks, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. The next few weeks are going to be critical.